Hey, hey, what's going on, guys? Mike Greco here. Hope you're having a wonderful what day is it? Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. Um, yeah, so hope quarantine is going well for everybody. I hope the people are doing okay during this pandemic, especially my music friends. I know a lot of you guys are not able to play out right now. A lot of shows and gigs and stuff have gotten canceled. But hopefully soon, we'll all be able to get back to that, and you know, looking forward to that. But during this pandemic, I've been spending the time to explore a lot of things, and one of the things is making money. How does one make money full time with music? That's it. How does one go about doing that? And I know a lot of you are performers, a lot of you are music teachers, a lot of you are producers and studio owners and things like that. And man, uh, there's such a wide variety of things that you can do as a musician. If you love it and it's a passion and you want to pursue it, there's a lot of things that you can do. Myself, I'm a performer as well as a public school music teacher. So I'm fortunate enough to be able to do both of those things. Both of which, at the moment, are canceled for the time being, except for school, which is my school district is going to go virtual. So I'm going to be teaching music on the computer from now until November for the time being. So we'll see what happens. But I wanted to talk about and I wanted to share how I have made money doing nothing but music since I was 15 years old. That's when I got my first paying gig. I was 15 years old. And since then, I've done nothing except music to make money. And I wanted to talk to you guys about that, talk to you guys about those things, and maybe you guys can share some of the things that you do. Because I'm one of those people, I just absolutely love music. I realized early on that I don't want to be doing anything else. I just want to be around music all the time. Um, at all times. And before I continue, I just want to let you guys know this is going to be kind of a longer video, but I will get to some points. So stick with me. I promise I will get to some good points here. Yeah, so I wanted to do music full time, no matter what, So let's get into it. First, and another thing I want to mention is I don't perform full time. I'm not a full time performing musician. I have some buddies, you know, that's all they do, and they do wonderful, and But I kind of decided, when I was like in my early 20s, I think I'm kind of I want to be more closer to home. I'm really close with family and friends and stuff, so I want to do music, but I don't want to be on the road for too long. So I want to pursue other avenues besides being a traveling musician, which I have done, but I wanted to get into some other stuff. All right, so let's get into it. So when I was 15 years old, I got my first paying gig. I was admitted to Kappa High School, which is the Philadelphia School for the Creative and Performing Arts. So I was surrounded by music in this school for 4 years, all day, every day. I took theory classes. I was able to play the cello and orchestra. I played the guitar and jazz band, which is my main instrument. And I mean, just walking around the schools of this hall was just such an epic experience. And the people that went to this school, boys to men, I mean, a lot of these Philly greats. Kurt Rosenwinkel, one of my guitar heroes. Jasmine Sullivan, an amazing Philadelphia singer, R&B singer. I mean, she went on to do some big things. The Roots. I didn't go to school at the same time as those guys. They were kind of, I think they graduated in like the 80s, early 90s. But, these are the kind of people that came out of this Philadelphia school. So here's my first gig. I'm 15. My jazz band director says, Michael, you want to do this gig? It pays. Um, this guy, he has a foundation where he hires young musicians to be the backup bands for his shows. He finds some of these performing arts schools, and like the one I was attending, and he makes his band like that. So I was super excited, and this was a reading gig. I had to read charts. Um, Fortunately, with my training, I was able to do this, and the guy they put the chords in front of me, the chord chart, and I was able to read it. Bam! First gig, made my first few $100. It was a Broadway review show, some famous songs from Broadway, and there was dancers and singers, and it was this whole big show. And I was at this nice Keswick Theater in Philly. That's where it was, and I was also at another theater called the Painted Bride. About a year later, I did the same gig again, and it was there. So, man, made my first few $100 reading music, super cool. From then on, I went to do more stuff like that throughout high school. I went on to do recording sessions. Um, Somebody that owned a studio, kind of in my area, somebody told them about me. I played cello and guitar. Ended up doing a session, playing cello and guitar. Made a few $100 doing that. Then at 18, I furthered my music career. I went to Temple University. They have an amazing music program. I studied jazz, and I feel like jazz has prepared me to play anything. I feel like being a jazz musician, being able to read music, being able to improvise on the spot, being able to jam, developing your ear. So even if there is no chart, there is no chords handed to you, you can hear things and be able to make music spontaneously on the spot. I mean, that's been a huge help. Also, they had a music business component, so I was able to learn like that, through that about the music business. Plus, man, their faculty was just absolutely amazing. Like world-renowned musicians are some of the teachers over there. So that was an amazing experience. From all throughout college, I was still doing studio sessions. I was teaching private lessons, and I was also just playing gigs too around town, reading gigs, just jazz standards gigs, with some rock bands, doing that. Yeah, so that was pretty much college. How I made money. My main source of income during college was I got a job at a music studio. It was a recording studio upstairs, and it was a music lessons, private lessons studio downstairs. So I would teach guitar lessons for like 5 days a week for a few hours. After school, and then also the guy that owned the place, he also had a recording studio upstairs. So he would call me, hey Mike, you want to do this session? So I would do sessions for them. That was super cool. It was right across the street from my house. Very, very cool. So I was very lucky to have that experience, to teach music and to do all those studio sessions. Very, very cool. So I did that, through college too. And then I went on to go to graduate school to get my degree in music education, because I decided, I think I want to be able to teach music in schools too. So I spent another 2 years doing that. So now I got my bachelor's in music, and then I got a master's in music education 2 years after that. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm done with the school environment. Like, I didn't want to get a teaching, like a music public school teaching job yet. I was like, I'm kind of done with that whole thing, being in a school environment. I love to learn. I love music education, but I was just like, I need to, I need to get into something else. I want to, I worked hard all those years, 6 years of school after high school, and I was like, I'm kind of done with that. So I got a really cool job being a guitar player on a cruise ship. I worked for Carnival Cruise Lines for 2 years in 2010. Super cool job. I mean, you get on the ship, they hand you a stack of music this big. You get to travel everywhere. I mean, I've been to all over Mexico, New Orleans, California, the Keys in Florida, um, Honduras, Belize. Like, I mean, it was just a super cool experience. The last ship I did, we went to Hawaii. We did all the islands of Hawaii, and then after Hawaii, we did an Alaska run. So, man, what a great experience. I got to see some of the world, and all I had to do was play guitar for a few hours a night. I got paid. I got to eat as much food as I wanted. I got to meet people from all over the world because on the cruise ships you have like, I mean, just the band alone. There was actually let me get a picture for you. I got one over here. Hold on. I went and dug this guy up. That's a little bit of glare. All right, so that is me right there. This guy, this cool guy right here, is the drummer. He's from Colorado. Francisco, the keyboard player, is from the Philippines. Pascal, he's from Quebec. My man right here on the sax is from England. He's a Brit. Right? This guy, bass player, is from Canada, and the trombone player he's from the States. I think he's from Vegas. So that's us. That's the show band. That's the Carnival. I think the name of the ship was the Carnival Paradise. Right. That was the band. So that was a super cool experience. We had to play all kinds of music. Again, what I said earlier about being versatile. That was one of those experiences. I mean, 1 minute I had to play rock, next minute I had to play, Fly Me to the Moon, the jazz dance music, and we had to go. We played the music for the production shows too. So we would go. We had the stage, and it would lower down into a pit, and we had to read. I had to read. I had to read music. So very cool experience. Got to travel all over the world. Got to meet some really cool people that I still keep in contact with today. And man, I really got my chops up because I just had to play everything, and I got to travel and see a little bit of the world. So very cool experience. But after a while, I started to kind of miss home. Started to miss that. Miss being grounded because, just kind of being able to be on land, because when you're at sea for days, then you come back, you only have a few hours on land, and then you got to go back out again. Internet's hard to come by, it's unless you have like a long distance plan, it's hard to keep in touch with people. Start to miss the family, miss my hometown, Philly, so I stopped that, and then I was like, all right, I got all that partying out of my system. We partied every night, and I got all that traveling out of my system for the time being. So you know what? Let me get a public school music teacher job. So I got back to Philly 2011, and I got my first job as a Philadelphia public school music teacher, and I teach all kinds of stuff, depending on what the school needs. We do music theory, we do, modern band, we do choir, we do music technology, just kind of, everything. It's a very rewarding job. It's a very stable job, which is great too. But I still, even though I am a full-time music teacher, I still play every day. Okay, so let's talk about that now. I am a full-time music teacher, but I still perform. After a little bit after I got home back from the ships, still was playing gigs around Philly. Was doing studio sessions again. Then I joined a wedding band. Right, that's us right here. That's me with my telly. I got that in 2013. This was a lot of fun. I teach till Friday at the school, and then Friday, I would have my car packed with my amp and my guitar, because I would have to rush to a gig on Friday night sometimes right after teaching all day. And then sometimes we play Saturday night too, and sometimes Sunday night too. So lots of work, but a lot of fun. Again, another situation where I had to play all kinds of music. I had to be prepared. I had to read charts. I had to improvise. I had to play jazz. I had to play classical fingerstyle guitar for the wedding reception, for the wedding ceremonies and cocktail hours, as well as the party music, rock and roll, pop music for the reception. So that was a really really fun gig. I still do that every once in a while. Currently, what I'm focusing on is I'm still a full-time public school music teacher, and I'm mainly focusing on my own music right now. So what I do, I'm doing a lot more composing. In the last 2 years, I put out 2 more albums, just instrumental, guitar heavy albums. One with my jazz trio, and I did another one called "The Sound of Things" with it's just I just overdubbed guitar parts, and that I did all the bulk of that during this quarantine because I had so much time to just sit on the computer and kind of come up with some ideas and do that. Also, I'm doing remote recording sessions. People send me in their tracks, and you know, um, they'll have like a pop tune or they're like a singer songwriter and they need some guitar. So they'll send me their track, and I'll send it back with guitar parts on them. We'll have a discussion about what's their direction, and I'll do that, and we'll do like a PayPal exchange. Pretty cool. I'm also doing remote guitar lessons, so that's where I'm at right now currently. So yeah, I wanted to do this video and talk about some of those things. I apologize for being kind of long-winded here, but I just wanted to make sure I covered everything. So I mean, being as versatile as possible and being open to doing a bunch of different things. I feel very fortunate I managed to make money all this time, and still, um, to this day, since I was 15, I'm 34 now. I'm still making money just doing music, whether it's performing, whether it's teaching, whether it's doing recording sessions, or you know, there's lots of avenues you can take. Try to be as versatile as you can, and just try to do your best and work hard to be prepared for anything. I would love for you guys, if you have some similar experiences, I would love for you guys to comment below. Let me know what you guys are doing. How do you make your living with music? And if you dug this video, I really hope that you'll subscribe and join me for some more chats about this kind of thing and guitar stuff and all that fun stuff. All right, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.